We're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a laundry sink out in the garage. This is the existing laundry sink in the laundry room. And so what we did in here was copper stub outs and with shut-off valves on them. So we had to adapt to that, which means half-inch copper. That's a 5/8 OD compression for half-inch copper to male iron pipe. So still brass and then solid brass T. And then of course a little brass nipple. And then back to a brand new shutoff valve. So these are new. These are your supply lines, by the way. So this guy and the other guy that are in here, those are yours. But what you've got in here is just a little assembly that allows us to take the water outside to the garage area. Same thing over here. Same thing you've got coming out. You know, just the adapter, the T, nipple, and then of course shutoff valve. This one we had to hop up with a 90 because otherwise the cold would run into the hot water. So you can see where it goes in over there. It's just hot's on the bottom, cold's on the top. A couple of isolators that keeps the pipe from moving around, center of the hole. And so that's wedged in there. You don't need the screws in there. It's wedged in there. It's a 1 3/8 hole, and that's the way they're designed. Sewer line, we just cut it back, cut the old trap out. And then when we got done, we put a sanitary T in right here. So that comes right off of the existing piping. Sanitary T. Stubbed 1.5 inches through the wall. Cut a nice clean hole in here because this is the inside of a cabinet. So we got that. And then we made a transition. We didn't reuse the old trap to give you a tubular P-trap to here up to a little extension piece. And then that's your existing nut right here and tail piece. That's yours. That's your nut that had the on the back side now where it says off. You know, which tells you which way to turn the nut. So those are your two parts. This is ours, our extension. This is our trap. That's the trap arm, and then the adapter. So everything in here has been tested. We had a little leak on the trap. We fixed that. That's good. Water's back on, hot and cold to the house. We ran water through here. Right now it's sitting. So once the trap is full, you know, once you have water in the trap, it always sits from, you know, from this height right here straight across. So this is always full of water. And then anything, you know, any excess water, it pushes through and goes out. So this is always full, which means there's always a potential for this nut right here to leak. So we felt it. Everything seems good in there. So that's what's going on the inside. On the outside where we stepped through, homeowner bought their own laundry tub for out here. We had another one picked out because it's a full cabinet and much sturdier than this one. But they saved $100 or so on this guy. So this wasn't in our scope of work. For the other area, reason being is we proposed a sink that was 36 inches tall, and the sink was only 8 inches deep, but they wanted a full, like, deep basin, so that's what they got. Anyways, you can see where the pipe comes through the wall right there. Hot's on the bottom, cold's on the top. Don't need a light, but you can see it. And then quarter turn shutoff valve. So these guys just you know, quarter turn off and quarter turn on. And you know, it's not designed for you to get in here and work on this all the time. You know, we did get it apart and put it together. It's pretty fussy because it's so tight back there. So anyways, leave it where it's at. Faucet came with the laundry tub, and then of course the laundry tub, and then of course the legs. Those are bolted together. We just took Tapcon screws. Those are little 3/16 blue Tapcon screws, and then of course took a little bit, 5/32 bit, drilled holes, mounted them all around. This one got a little fussy. You can see the leg moves a little bit. Probably what happened is that when you're drilling, when you're tapping into, if you hit a rock, that, you know, when you pour concrete, there's chunks of rock in there. So if you're drilling and you hit a rock, it won't go through. So this one's a little loose. These are all good. So those are all, you know, they pivot a little bit, but the main thing is they're anchored to the ground so it doesn't tip around. Now there was no bracket to mount this to the wall. The only thing that I could say is if you had someone that was a little creative, you could come in with maybe a clip here and, you know, then mount it to the deck right there, and then a drywall anchor and mount it there. Just a little L clip, real small one, just so that it doesn't pull away from the wall, because right now it will, and you can't see it because I'm moving the camera as I pull on it, and I don't want to pull on it because it's bolted, but it will pull away from the wall, and it will move back and forth. And so Normally there's a lip up here, and we'd drill a hole in here and mount it, but there's no lip. So you could, like I say, a couple of L brackets and then just a wall anchor. We use the metal ones that they twist, drive in, then a screw behind that, and then a couple of brackets, and then you can tap right into this countertop right there, and then silicone over it when you're done. Anyway, so that's installed. Run lots of water down. You got a little adapter right here for the hose, a little stopper. That's the documents that came with it. We've tested this out as well, and there's no leaking in there. Everything looks dry. So monitor these two areas, inside in the laundry room, underneath the cabinet. Monitor that for any problems. You know, we dry everything up, and once we're gone, we don't know because we're not here, so we don't have a way to monitor it. So make sure it stays dry inside. Out here, not as critical, but you do have sheetrock down to the floor, so you don't want any residual water. We dried up everything and kind of wiped things down because there was a lot of sheetrock dust out here. But everything looks good here. Outside of that, this installation is done.